on Meridian News in 20 minutes. The QE2 celebrates 30 glorious years. The full story of a special day afloat after the ITV Nightly News. Claim and counterclaim as dozens of refugees die in attack. NATO promises investigation into targets it attacked in the area. Passengers relive their terror as jet drops thousands of feet. And unveiled today the licensing laws for the millennium.
From ITN, the ITV Nightly News with dermot, murnghan.
Good evening. Dozens of Albanians were killed in Kosovo today in what the Serb authorities claimed were NATO bombing raids on convoys of returning refugees. NATO confirmed its planes had been in action in the area, but insisted tonight they'd only attacked military vehicles. The Allies are suggesting it was Serb forces who killed the refugees. 44 are said to have died in one incident, 20 in another, both near Jakovica. ITN's Mark Austin has been hearing from survivors reaching the Albanian border tonight. And I should warn you that some of the pictures from the scene are very distressing.
This is the wreckage the Serbian authorities say was caused by NATO attacks on two convoys of ethnic Albanian refugees in southern Kosovo. They claim dozens were killed and injured near the town of Jakovica. The pictures of the aftermath were filmed under the strict control of the Serb media. Bodies and belongings scattered along the rural road. They were filmed sometime after the attack apparently took place. Some of the injured were lifted from the wreckage. Rescuers used whatever was at hand. This man, unable to walk, was carried in a wheelbarrow. Like others, he was loaded into the back of a cart. Many who escaped injury sat crying by the roadside. One man claimed he'd heard the noise of aeroplanes, followed by a blast. Others said the explosion could be heard across the Albanian border 12 miles away. Tonight, several hours after the Serbs claimed the attack took place, refugees who say they survived the attack finally made it on foot to the border. They were tired, shocked, and clearly distraught. They had the look of people who had seen something terrible. And many of them described how the convoy had been attacked by aeroplanes. I saw rockets hit the road around us, this woman told me. I gathered up my children, and as we ran away, I saw people dying all around us. And this woman said her neighbour's tractor in front of hers was hit. She counted 5 people killed, others badly wounded. We jumped from the tractor and ran away, she said.
Whether this proves to be a cynical attempt by the Serbs to blame NATO for its atrocities or another terrible mistake by Allied forces, the impact on the future of this war can only be guessed at. Mark Austin, ITN, on the Kosovo-Albanian border.
Well, a short time ago I spoke to Julian Mannion, our correspondent in the Yugoslav capital Belgrade, about what they're saying there.
Well, the Serbs are sticking to their story. They're insisting that 2 refugee convoys made up of ethnic Albanians travelling on tractors and other vehicles and made up mainly of women and children and elderly people, they say, were hit by NATO warplanes this afternoon, killing up to 70 people in these 2 locations. And at the same time, they're turning up the rhetoric, turning up the attacks against NATO. They're calling this a crime against humanity, and another spokesman said the worst crime of the war so far.
Now, Julian, you were taken to the scene of the attack on the passenger train. Have any similar plans been announced for this?
Well, we understand at the moment that the Defence Ministry is planning to take us to the scene by bus tomorrow. Perhaps understandably, they don't want to set out for Kosovo in the middle of the night. We can all journalists here can understand that. And this really is going to be, to some extent, an acid test of this particular affair, whether they are prepared to take us there, whether they are prepared to let us examine the scene, and to try, I stress to try, because it's going to be extremely difficult, to try to work out what happened in these 2 locations where so many ethnic Albanians clearly have died.
Julian Mannion in Belgrade, thanks a lot. The NATO allies are tonight still investigating what did happen to the refugees and looking for cockpit video evidence to back their version of events. With more on that and today's other developments, here's Robert Moore.
As soon as Allied warplanes returned from their missions this afternoon, NATO commanders launched their investigation. At stake is whether one air attack may have mistakenly targeted a convoy of refugees. But this evening at a Washington briefing, the Pentagon said it may have been Serb troops exacting revenge on refugees after a successful NATO raid, or it may have been an attack by Yugoslav aircraft.
We are hearing from refugees coming into Albania that there have been attacks against refugee convoys by Yugoslav aircraft. And we will obviously talk to the refugees and use our own systems to find out if that's the case. But we don't know that to be the case, but we're hearing this.
The Prime Minister at an emergency European summit also tonight advised extreme caution on the Serb claims.
We cannot take at face value any claim that is made by the Serb authorities. And anything they do, they use for propaganda purposes. We try, insofar as we possibly can, we go to extraordinary lengths to limit any civilian damage or casualties at all.
The summit itself endorsed NATO's military campaign, the 15 EU leaders describing it as necessary and warranted. Also attending the summit and emerging from the diplomatic shadows is the UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan. But he is moving carefully and he denies he has plans to travel to Belgrade. The German peace plan that has emerged is based on a 24-hour pause in the bombing to allow Serb forces to be withdrawn, and then an international military force to take control of the province. President Milosevic was making his first public appearance since the beginning of the airstrikes, meeting the Belarusian president. He seemed unruffled by the destruction being caused all around him, and there is no sign that Belgrade is prepared to accept that German peace plan. Robert Moore, ITN.
Robert, on the refugee attack, how far has NATO's investigation progressed tonight?
Well, Dermot, in the last few minutes, sources close to NATO have provided me with an initial version of events. I understand that there were two separate convoys involved. That the first convoy was of Serb military vehicles and was successfully targeted by NATO warplanes. NATO commanders then alleged that the remnants of that convoy attacked in revenge a second convoy of Kosovar Albanian refugees and pretended that was the work of NATO warplanes. But I'm also told that the Pentagon tonight is very disappointed that the battlefield imaging systems they use will not reveal this conclusively.
And Robert, those diplomatic developments today, how would you assess their chance of progress?
Well, that German peace plan did receive broad support in Brussels this afternoon, but there's no sign of Belgrade agreeing to that, and NATO leaders are absolutely insistent that if there is to be any pause in the bombing, then Serb forces must withdraw immediately and fully. And of course the other problem is there is disagreement with Moscow about the composition of any international military presence that would subsequently go into Kosovo. So I think what we are seeing tonight is military and diplomatic action in parallel, but certainly no end in sight to the air war.
Thank you, Robert. Now the other news, and people on a flight from Australia today described the terrifying moments when their jumbo jet hit a phenomenon called clear air turbulence. It dropped like a stone and several were injured. Amongst the passengers, though not hurt, was the Prime Minister's 11-year-old daughter, Catherine. Lawrence McInty reports.
The British Airways jumbo arrived back at Heathrow unscathed by the ordeal, as were most of the passengers on board. But 22 were treated in Singapore, 5 are still in hospital. And for everyone on board, the encounter with the invisible menace of clear air turbulence was terrifying.
There was one chap who was with a trolley taking it around, and I thought his head was through I was scared because his head I thought had gone to the roof, and everybody else was in the air, and I thought we were crashing for sure.
So all you could see is everybody going up in the air.